We have got a reaction, a blind reaction. I haven't seen this.
I definitely haven't seen this. I got no clue.
But the title was too irresistible.
Oh, go on. Hit me with it.
Now, it's from my main man, Chris. I've forgotten his surname.
Who's your main man?
And the title is calling a bald man bald is now sexual harassment.
Shut up.
Calling a man bald counts as sexual harassment. UK judge rules. UK Employment Tribunal argued that the use of the word bald as an insult related to a protected characteristic of sex. Calling a man bald can now be classed as sexual harassment. A UK Employment Tribunal judge has ruled. This is CNBC. 3 members of the tribunal who decided on the ruling and alluded to their own experience of hair loss said that baldness was more prevalent in men than women. Therefore, they argued that the use of the word bald as an insult related to a protected characteristic of sex. The tribunal compared calling a man bald to commenting on the size of a woman's breasts based on a 1995 case.
How?
What do you think? Is
Well, let's call a spade a spade. Us bald men, I know what you're thinking. Dan, you're not bald. But I am. Look, it's going so... Oh, my fucking... Look how thick it is here on the side compared to now in the middle.
Just need to cut, mate. You've cut the sides... The front shorter than
no,
the sides.
I haven't. The barber hat. Anyway, you can see I'm thinning all here and at the back. And I've decided to opt to go voluntarily bald before I actually go bald. So, and that is down to an increase in testosterone. Men who've got high testosterone are bald. It's due to the fact that testosterone and DHT, I believe, DHT increases the higher a man's testosterone is. And it's the DHT that leads to hair loss.
Right, okay.
Right? So it is a sexual characteristic because you can determine that a man who is bald has high virality.
No,
He's more fertile. He has a
everybody
higher
would
sex
think
drive.
that.
When it's scientifically proven.
No, but generally women wouldn't go around going,
Of course he would. On a subconscious level, all women know that.
No.
Think about it. Yeah, think about all the good. What was that noise?
I have no idea.
Well, think about all the sexiest men alive. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Vin Diesel.
I was thinking Brad Pitt with long hair. Yeah.
Okay, each to their own, but there's no denying that a man who's bald is more sexually attractive than a man who isn't. Science.
calling a man bald the same as saying you're a small titty bitch? You a small titty bitch. It's not, it's just you bald.
What if they have big titties then? Is that the same? Yeah, so small titty or big. Talking about another woman's breasts is the same as talking about a man's baldness.
What if I say that you've got a beautiful head of hair? You've got a big head of hair. That's a lot of hair you've got there.
Yeah. Wow.
Stop sexualizing me.
If we were to consider this versus the Grammarly thing, I wonder which one's more ridiculous.
This is pretty.
This man doesn't wash his hats. It's disturbing.
You can see his
the sweat marks.
fingerprints.
No, it's the sweat marks.
No, on the cap, that's dirty fingers.
Yeah, and also the sweat marks.
Oh
here.
yeah. But like that, the peak is
Anyway.
where. Yeah.
This is pretty ridiculous.
This isn't. Yeah, this is pretty. Insane.
The story is really good. The ruling published Wednesday was made on a case where the insult was alleged to have been used against Tony Finn while he worked as an electrician for the British Bung Manufacturing Company. Finn had worked at the company, who manufactures wooden cask closures for the brewing industry in Yorkshire in the northeast of England, for nearly 24 years. He was fired last year, and the circumstances around his dismissal were also part of the case. Finn claimed that he was called a bald and was also threatened by his shift supervisor, Jamie King, in a dispute in July 2019. The tribunal determined that you...
Bald cunt. You bald cunt. Sexual harassment!
That's not sexual harassment.
Wow.
He's probably... I'm not being funny, right? He's bald.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Yeah. Good-looking bald guy.
He's a cunt. That's a fact. All his mate is
just facts.
Just facts.
Just
it's
facts.
Like, I'm short. Is that sexual harassment?
You short cunt.
Exactly. I'm short.
Stop harassing me.
Do you know what I mean?
It was a violation against the claimant's dignity. It created an intimidating environment. It was done for that purpose, and it related to the claimant's sex. So, ladies and gentlemen, do not call a man bald, or you will get in serious trouble.
I mean,
This is
I didn't
insane.
know that's why he filed it. I mean, that's just like you're making fun of someone on the job. That's harassment, right?
Can we take a moment to appreciate the backdrop he's got there? Look at that view.
We had that when we went to Mikey's.
Look at that view.
Didn't we?
I don't think saying the word bald as a description should be then, more specifically like tuned into, oh, this is sexual harassment.
No,
like
it's not.
the bald part.
How is it not?
It's not.
How is it not? A woman's breasts are a direct result of, one, genetics, and two, the hormonal balance in that woman's body during puberty, right? And therefore, the same can be said with the amount of hair a man has is directly linked to the hormonal change in the man's body due to the sexual hormones, testosterone, estrogen for women.
Yep.
And therefore, it's an indicator, a sexual visual indicator of a man's virality, and therefore acknowledging the baldness, you're acknowledging his sexual virality, just like a pair of boobies.
No.
Yes, mate. If I made, sometimes you do, like in the summer, you wear a low cut top and everything. If I started going, oh, boobies, look at those boobies, you'd feel uncomfortable, and rightly so, right? But when you keep calling me a bald cunt, I don't say anything. I feel intimidated. I feel insecure.
You love her.
I feel like I can't be myself around you.
Oh, he's so foolish. See what he does?
Saying
Try with
someone's
an argument.
Bald. Like, that's just making fun of someone, right?
I can't stand the sweat marks on his hat.
Are you sure?
What is he thinking?
Listen, I'm not sure if that is.
Well, what is it then?
I think it's the style of the cap.
No,
but
it's not. The style of the cap is sweat marks, is it?
No, I think it is. It's to look
Mate,
warm.
I wear baseball caps daily for the last 20 years. I know what sweat marks are on a bald cap.
Guys, in the comments, is
bald
this
cap.
design or is it sweat
It's not the
marks?
design, it's the sweat marks.
Like, that's harassment, of course, on the
He
job.
doesn't look dirty. He doesn't look dirty.
He's voluntarily got a mustache.
But his clothes look clean. His face look clean.
He looks like a 34-year-old paedophile.
He looks like a German porn star from 1974.
Say no more.
I didn't know that's what the story was.
That's what they said. But the problem is that if you want to do protected sex characteristics, you're going to open up these kinds of conversations, right? Because on average, women don't go bald that much.
Yeah.
So it means that men will take their baldness as a protected characteristic. It's the same reason why
I protect it so much, I would have to put a hat on it. If women saw the baldness, I wouldn't be able to get down the street. It's bad enough with the pearly blues.
It's true.
You've seen it, mate.
It's true.
I can't go into the bakery without women just gushing.
Mate, it's
Can't get into co-op without women just falling at my feet.
do you know, it's actually embarrassing.
And then if I took this off as well, Jesus, it would. I would feel. I would be worried. I would be worried about the amount of harassment I would get.
Wow. I must have some strong will.
So now we're factoring averages and generalizations.
I think so.
But I don't think people want to do that often, do they?
I saw a really interesting post on Instagram yesterday about the fact that calling someone an incel or a virgin or a cuck online is significantly more accepted than slut shaming. If you were to call a girl on social media a slut or a whore, that would go down very badly.
Well, yes, but she shouldn't be a slut or a whore, should she? Saying someone's a virgin is almost complimentary.
It's almost, and it's a fact.
Yeah. Have you had sex yet? No, you were a
But
virgin.
since when are we not allowed to state facts?
Absolutely. You slept with 100 men last week? You're a slut.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice and simple.
Yep.
Women don't want to be called a slut? Don't sleep with 50 men
Don't
in a
act
week.
like it.
Nice and simple, right? Don't want to be called a whore? Don't sell your body for sex. Right? If you don't want to sleep with men, that's cool. You're a virgin.
Yeah.
It's just a label.
It's a personal choice.
It's a personal choice.
and a fact on people, you know.
But if you were to accuse a guy of being a virgin, that would just be seen as a quippy.
It's a bit of an insult from a man, and as a man, it's a bit of a dig, right? If you're 20 years old and a virgin, I can see how some men would be embarrassed by that, and therefore people take it as an opportunity to have a little bit of a dig.
Yeah.
But a 20-year-old virgin female, that's sought after.
course it is.
That's like, gee, they name a 20-year-old woman female these days.
But
Can't think of one.
I literally don't think that females, young females, are being taught their self-worth.
I couldn't agree more.
They're
I couldn't
looking
agree
at
more.
OnlyFans, Instagram, TikTok,
Couldn't agree more.
and it's all like,
It's the
I
trend.
want to be like that.
It's the trend to give it away.
No.
Young ladies are being pressured into giving away their pride and joy, so to speak, at an early age is outrageous.
It's disgusting.
Insult.
Absolutely
So
disgusting.
there are
No, Dan, I'm a young independent woman. If I want to suck cock, I'll suck cock. Go suck cock, mate. But then you're a slut. If it's more than one, it's not your boyfriend, obviously.
symmetries in
I
what
love the
is
little
typically
caveat,
used and what's typically
Always need a caveat.
accepted, I think. And bald lives matter, man.
But in,
Bald guys matter.
Oh, you should get a T-shirt with that
Bald
on
guys
it.
matter. That's a great
That'd be
idea.
great.
I think
That'd be great.
in a world where we're not allowed to make
Bald guys matter. Such a great idea for a t-shirt.
rules based off of generalizations, right? Where we have to factor in every little specific thing. You are now making a rule based off of a generalization.
What's an
Men
example
go
of a
bo-
rule where that we're not allowed to make something based on generalization?
Well, we have to factor in all different genders and norms. Like we create rules.
We don't have to. There's this movement where people feel obligated or forced to accept that there are 25 different genders. No, there's 2. Male and female. It's nice and simple. Man, woman. Nice and simple. If you fall in between that grey line, then it's horrific, and you need support and help to get through this difficult time. But as it's classified in the I forget what the book's called now, the psychology book where all the disorders are kept. It's classified as a mental disorder.
Really?
Yeah. It's an
aware
official
of
thing.
that.
Yeah. It's classified as a mental disorder. Because well, think about it. Like
Yeah.
you truly believe
You're in
in
the
your
wrong body,
mind
yeah.
that you're in the wrong body.
Yeah.
There's
yeah.
a disconnect.
So
there.
is that a dysmorphia then? Sort of.
No, it's a disorder.
It's a disorder.
Yeah.
Okay. Apologies, guys. My ignorance.
There's no need to apologise.
My ignorance.
There's not ignorant. You just didn't know.
rules based off of, transgenders wanting to use different bathrooms, things like that. Who are this? They're not They are not a major piece. They're not.
They're an outlier.
They're an outlier. Where now we're using a general.
Yeah, outside of the norm.
Right.
Right. If you think about it, if you go into a pub in England, you'll have a male bathroom and a female bathroom because 99.9% of the population fall into those two categories.
Right, okay.
We now have a very, 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 very small percentage of the population who are undergoing internal struggles and feel like they're not in the body that they should be. And I feel for them, and like I said, they need the support and guidance and whatnot. But this idea that we now have to change every bathroom in every office, in every shop, in every commercial building, because a teeny tiny percentage of people are having an internal battle themselves, and now that they feel that we have to push that obligation to the mass majority, I'm not having it. I'm not having it. If I go into the men's toilet and there's a biologically born woman who is now trans, who has changed into a man, and she feels like she's a man, but she's now in the men's toilet, I'm going to feel uncomfortable. And I'd imagine as a woman, if you go into the female toilet and you're in a cubicle and a dude in a dress walks out, you're going to feel uncomfortable.
It's completely different for a woman.
Why is it completely
Because
different?
usually he's like, "Hi, babe, your hair's gorgeous," and he's chatting away to you, and there's no embarrassment.
Well, what if it's not? What if it's a builder called Dave who just one day woke up and thought, "Do you know what? I want to be a woman." Goes into the toilet,
For
gets
me,
an erection.
why has he now got to have an erection? He's gone for a wee.
Right, yeah, well, why wouldn't he get an erection? He's amongst a load of half-naked women in the toilet.
No.
a generality to
No.
determine this rule, right? Like men are bald, women aren't. So now we have.
What about if Archie was a girl, and then he goes to the toilet, she goes to the toilet, and then there's two 40-year-old biologically born men in there in dresses?
See, now,
You're not going to feel uncomfortable
I've
for him?
always had a thing with Arch being a young boy, very protective over him. He's only recently started going to a public toilet
Well, that's fair enough. He's a young boy.
because I couldn't go in with him.
Yeah.
You know, so I've always been very protective over that, purely because there's been so many horror stories in Cardiff about kids and.
Well, you
toilets
just
and stuff.
proven my exact point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
So it shouldn't be allowed, should it?
it's not that it shouldn't be allowed. I don't believe that it shouldn't. I don't believe that it should not be allowed to be able to use the toilet. If you have a vagina, you use a ladies' toilet. If you have a penis, use a men's toilet.
There we go. Yeah. And that's the way it has been for millennia, and that's the way it is at the moment. But there's a tiny percentage of people who don't fit into that category, and now there's this movement to say that we all need to change because of this small, tiny minority. That's what I'm struggling to connect with.
Right. Okay.
Make this rule. It's very interesting.
Well,
Right?
it is.
Well-
But I actually think that this is part of a just general odd trend of people getting themselves into situations in court where they just want to get back at somebody that they feel has aggrieved them, and now without actually realizing it, you have somehow created a precedent where calling a man bald counts as sexual harassment in the UK because
It is harassment.
sex
It's
character.
I'm with you.
not harassment.
Americans see things that the UK.
Hang on. If I rub your head
Harassment!
and you rub my breast,
Yeah, harassment.
completely two different things.
No, they're not. They're the same thing.
They're not.
They are the same thing.
When I would
It's a
always,
part of my body I don't want you to touch, and your breasts are a
Mine-
part of your body you don't want me to touch.
mine have
Yours are
been-
part of your sexual characteristics, and so is my bald head.
No, it's completely.
How is it
This
not?
is
I've just
bonkers.
told you
You can
that
tell
a
me what you
man's
like.
baldness is down to high virality.
Yes, but you don't.
Therefore,
have nipples.
and your breasts are a visual sign of your virality,
Yeah, but you don't have nipples on your head.
right?
Yeah.
I don't have nipples on my penis.
No,
It's
I'm-
still part of my virality,
Yeah, but it's
my
different.
sexual characteristic.
No, it's not the same.
It is the same.
not the same.
It is the same.
It's not the same.
How is it
Guys,
not the same?
In the comments, is having breasts and someone touching them the same as someone touching your head?
If I don't want someone to touch my bald little head, then I don't want someone to touch my
I
bald
would
head.
never touch your head.
If you
without
touch my
asking.
bald head, then it's sexual harassment.
Do and
Fucking
we
wish.
just laugh like we think it's hilarious. And the funny thing is, the opposite happens too. The UK sees things that America does, and they laugh too. We just laugh at each other for the stupid shit that we do, the stupid
Yeah.
rules that we come up with. It's so funny. I remember you said this to me yesterday, man, and I was laughing so hard because it was in the UK. That's why I thought it was funny, and that for no real reason. It's just like
Dude, it'll be coming for the US as well. What's happening, people? If you enjoyed that, then press here for the full, unedited episode. And don't forget to subscribe. Peace.
Peace.
The eyebrow as well.
Peace.
You got the eyebrow locked down.
Hey. So, are we concluding that bald men to call a man bald is sexual harassment? I think so
Absolutely
too.
not.
Yeah, well done.
No, absolutely fucking.
Guys, let us know what you think in the comments. Is calling a man bald sexual harassment based on the fact that the baldness is a direct response to the virality of a man's hormonal profile? Just like breasts are a sign of virality in a woman's hormonal setup.
Guys, do you think that the judge went too far on ruling that it was sexual harassment?
The judge is bald. I can see it happening.
Listen, the judge.
He's had enough as
I
well.
bet you
I've had enough.
Let me tell you, I bet you the judge's wife left him because he was bald. And
I
she
bet she
married
didn't.
someone-
I bet she's having multiple orgasms because he's got a
I bet
fucking
she went- I bet
because
she
he's bald.
Left him and went off for another guy who had loads of hair, and now he's fuming, tamping.
Calling it bullshit. Guys, let us know what you think.
Bring what you got. We're going all the way to the top. We will hear the sound of 1 million people screaming our names when we're backstage. We'll play loud, surfing the